Hi, this is Sean with Your Work, Your Success. It's time to start your development so that you can get to do the work you want to do. So you want to move into a technical trade or something that you think requires a degree. You've been out of school for 10 or 20 years and it's just too late for you, right? Wrong. I moved from being a frontline soldier to a career in IT when I was almost 50 years old, and the highest education I've completed is high school. So how did I get from there to here? First aid. What? Well, I did some advanced first aid training in the Army. I got right into it. For a while I thought I might want a second career as a paramedic. So I got my hands on this medical textbook. And I was in Bosnia, and we were there for 6 or 7 months, and I had a little space to call my own in the tent. Really, all it was a blanket on this end of my cot and a blanket on the other end of my cot and a couple boxes for a desk. So I take this medical textbook and I started reading it. I read all through chapter 1, and then like every textbook, it's got these review questions so you can test that you actually retained the information. I looked at the review questions and I found that I had learned nothing. Well, what was the problem? Well, the problem was I'd been out of school for 15 years and I'd allowed myself to get a little bit intellectually lazy. I had to turn my brain back on. All right, back to chapter 1, page 1. I'd read a little bit and then I'd think about it and then I'd write down a summary of what I understood. Then I'd read a bit more, think about it, write down a summary of what I understood, repeat. I did that day after day, week after week, the whole time I was there. And eventually, I managed to turn my brain back on. So I get back to Canada, and somebody suggested that I go to Bible college. Not a bad idea. Maybe I want a second career as a pastor. I know I'm popping all over the place, paramedic, pastor, whatever. So, Bible college. Well, that's not IT, right? Well, you're right. But one thing that the school I went to was big on was writing essays. So what I got really good at was researching an idea and teaching myself new things. Something that everybody in IT does every single day. And you know what? It made me a better soldier. Because I gradually developed critical thinking skills that helped me come up with solutions to problems that I wouldn't have been able to before. And this is all because back in Bosnia with my little room made of blankets for walls and boxes for a desk, I turned my brain back on. That's why it was all possible. I also learned to manage my time well. This is something that's important for you to think about as well. Part of your commitment to yourself is how much time you're going to spend on your future. I chose to do school from 5 to 7 a.m., then put my uniform on and went into work. So after several years in Bible college, like 10, you know, full-time husband, father, soldier, part-time student. Anyway, I decided I preferred the idea of volunteer ministry. So I changed programs and changed schools, and I went for a Bachelor of Management. Again, this is not IT. But it did have some IT related courses in it. So I did that. But remember what I said. I am right now, today, only a high school graduate. I never did finish the Bachelor of Management because I got this great job in IT that I love, and I got too busy, so now I'm not going to university at all. Well, hold on though. Before you think this channel is going to be all about college education, think about this. Not all of my education came from school. The reason that I can manage a project is I first learned to plan and lead patrols behind enemy lines. The reason I can deal with technicians is I first learned to deal with soldiers. The reason I can memorize procedures is I first memorized plays when I was a defensive tackle in high school. Everything you've done before today can help you achieve success tomorrow. The big thing through all this is that I started learning how to learn several years with something that interested me. And then I enrolled in a program in something that interested me. And then I enrolled in another program in something that seemed relevant to my goals at the time. And 1,000 other choices and hundreds of opportunities to stretch myself. And now I have a job where I have to teach myself new things every day. That is how you get that career that you're dreaming of. You don't need 20-some years to get started. You just need to start. You may not even need to go for a degree at all. I certainly wouldn't at first. You just need to start. Get your own blankets for walls and boxes for a table and go for it. Improve yourself a little bit every day. Grow from where you are now to a little bit better tomorrow and a little bit better the day after that. Start. Start now. Figure out something that you want to learn, something that you're interested in, and just advance yourself. Go for it. Just learn a little bit every day. Improve yourself a little bit every day. The next few videos are going to focus on getting you learning how to learn, starting your development in that direction. Whether you dream of working in an office or a trade, or you don't know what you want to do. It's just a process to get your mind going, to turn your brain back on. I had no idea 22 years ago that I wanted a career in IT. I just knew I wanted a future. This week's assignment is to read something you don't understand. Just pick something short, couple paragraphs. And then I want you to think about it and write it down in your own words. This is meant to be a challenge. So don't worry if it's a bit of a struggle. You're going to start flexing some mental muscles. You will improve. Okay, get to work.